All right, hello everybody. I'm here with We Are G.A.M.E, and today we're interviewing Bubba.
How y'all doing?
So do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, she already introduced me. Well, I'm Bubba. Gilbert Varela. I played here at Independence High School, went to Long Beach City College, and then earned a scholarship to Idaho State.
All right, perfect. You want to tell us a little bit about your path to college from high school and how We Are G.A.M.E impacted you?
In high school, coming from a small school, didn't really have much recruitment or look. And then Mr. Allen came along, and I had no idea what, I was just thinking of the sports aspect. I wasn't thinking of the academics. So Mr. Allen and Joyce really helped me with that, encouraged me to make sure I was a qualifier off the rip. That was the main thing, to make sure I was a qualifier, and showed me, then they took me to the camp. And then right there, interacting with other fellow student athletes, people who have similar backgrounds or who are going through the same things you are, that really was very impactful. Yeah, I ended up going to Long Beach City, played 2 years there, 2 amazing years, loved everything about junior college. And then that's when I finally earned my scholarship.
Can you tell us a little bit about the challenges you faced from going to Independence High School to Long Beach City?
Culture shock for sure. I mean, coming from Independence or from Bakersfield in general, going to LA, it was something different. Or Long Beach is something different. My best friends now that I consider my brothers are all from LA. We all try to link up here and there, but it's just totally different. I mean, here our nearest beach is 2 hours?
Right.
Over there it's only 15 minutes. So we used to do beach workouts, bonding for football, and everything was just about football, which was amazing.
So what helped you make your decision along the way?
Choosing Long Beach was Mr. Allen actually the one that told me to make sure you go to a junior college where you get the vibe, where it fits you most. He said, just don't settle, because at first I was thinking, just BC, or then he was or I went to go visit Glendale, but Mr. Allen is the one that encouraged me to go to multiple, see where I would fit in best. Right when I got to Long Beach, I knew I was going to Long Beach. Crazy head coach, Coach Peabody, one of the greatest dudes I met, one of the craziest coaches I've ever had. So that was a challenge dealing with him. Miss Joyce always recommended to take an extra class. So if you have 12 units, try to take 15, take summer school, because just in case some units don't transfer, or just in case you fail a class, you're good.
I know you kind of faced a challenge. I actually attended your transfer party when you were going to transfer, and I know you switched schools last minute when you were supposed to go to St. Francis, and then you decided to go to Idaho. Can you tell us a little bit about what went into that decision?
I thank the coaches from St. Francis for even giving me my very first Division I offer. It's all the way in the East Coast, Pennsylvania, small town. I mean, I loved the school, but I didn't fall in love with it, if that makes any sense.
Right.
And I already talked to Idaho State in the past, and I had done my research, and it was a no-brainer. They're 12 hours away driving from home, which is not even far compared to Pennsylvania. And on top of that, they played 3 games in California. They played games they played Utah, BYU, which is big schools, national TV.
Close to home.
Close to home.
Right.
My family could make more games. That was a no-brainer for me.
Right. Can you talk to us a little bit about the challenges you faced while at Idaho, maybe football and academically?
Going to Idaho was big. You go from high school being the guy, and then my sophomore year at Long Beach, I was the guy, and coming there, you're not the guy. You got to fight. And I got there July 31st. Our first game was August 31st. So I only had less than a month to prepare to be a starter or to even learn the playbook. And that was the biggest challenge. And there's a business, you're late for a meeting, you're in trouble. If you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. To mandatory study hall, you have meetings, you got mandatory study hall, you have practice, you have recovery, all that. I had no clue in junior college. And then playing at the next level is
you really have to take care of your body and
tight,
mental state and everything.
And then sometimes you forget, you got to eat. And then our coaches, and then they always make sure they're always feeding us hella food just to get us going.
I know you kind of touched a little bit earlier on the We Are G.A.M.E camp. So every summer we do the We Are G.A.M.E retreat, and I know that's what you were talking about.
Retreat.
Can you tell us a little bit about that and how it helped you? Key points you learned.
It's cool seeing other people's stories. You know what I mean? Like everybody, in a way, we're different, but we're similar.
Right.
Like there's in the retreat or people who are part of We Are G.A.M.E. I mean, there's a lot of us who went to junior college or are in junior college right now. And only if you went to junior college, you know the struggle or you know what you're going through. I mean, shoot, I was talking to, I don't know if you remember Q. Me and Q used to always touch bases just because we both came from, he went to Cerritos, I went to LBCC.
Right.
And we both were talented guys who just weren't getting recruited at first. But then you have people like, you know, like was inspiration, like, you know, DJ,
right.
Elijah. I mean, when we were there, Elijah was already committed. He was either gonna go to K-State or Texas Tech.
Right.
And see people like that who also went through the JUCO struggle.
Right.
Like that.
So are you glad you took the JUCO route instead of going straight into a 4-year? Did you have the choice of a 4-year?
Only 4-year I ever had was, I had offered to wrestle at Cal State Bakersfield. But, you know, wrestling wasn't my passion. And I thought about walking on because I got accepted to Fresno State. But then that's when Mr. Allen called me actually first, was like, before you do it, make sure you call DJ because DJ went through the same thing. And DJ called me and was like, it's not really worth it. Like, it's better to go because DJ went to, at the time, DJ was committed to Kansas State.
Yeah, right after.
Because he played at Cerritos. And then he told me, like, it's going to be a struggle if you go to, if you walk on, like you're just a number, you know, you're not really important to them because they didn't recruit you.
Right.
So that, like, thank God for DJ for saving me because then I ended up going to junior college.
So academically, how do you think the transition was from high school to junior college to your 4-year, and then how did you cope with it and stay on top of your studies?
Junior college was easier, like, I didn't want to say I was a football player or athlete because they get a bad rep, you know, in junior college, especially because there's a lot of people who don't go to class who are football players. Shoot, my teammates, I never saw none of them in class, but there were supposed to be 10 of us, you know what I mean? And never wanted to say I was a football player, but like I just went in, did my work, because over there, like, it's not high school. I mean, you don't have to go to class. Like,
right.
Who's going, there's no attendance.
Nobody's going to watch you, yeah.
They don't care. Our coaches don't care as long as you're playing, as long as you're eligible and you're playing football. That's what they care about. I mean, I think I had good coaches who cared about getting us out and making sure we're on our grades. But other than that, like, they don't. There's nobody holding your hand, taking you to class, or your mom's not dropping you off at school type. Like, you're a grown man already. And then going to the university was great because, I mean, we can't get away from there. They have people they have people checking our classes. If we miss class, I missed one class because I was sick and I forgot to text my coach. I got in trouble. I still had to run. Sick. I'm over here sick. And it was during the spring semester, so not like we were doing anything.
Off season.
Yeah, it was off season, but they don't care. And there's like, you have to go to study hall. You mandatorily have hours, like, and it's better to go over. Don't even cut it close because they'd even still trip. Like, I did 4 hours and 20 minutes. He's like, well, that's not enough. I'm like, I was only required 4, but they want us to do good, you know, especially like, you gotta look at it at their point of view, like they want a higher GPA so school gives them more money.
Right, exactly.
It's a business at the end of the day.
I know that you switched majors while you were at Idaho. How was that transition?
It wasn't too hard. Like, I kind of wanted to switch already. Like, it's like what you see yourself doing, and that's just like what Mr. Allen and Ms. Joyce says. Like, at the end of the day, if, you know, football's gonna come to the end. Like, what do you see yourself doing as a job? And I didn't think history teacher was it for me because I love history. As much as I love history,
I
like,
remember.
I'm still a history nerd. Like, I still love history, but I wanted to do something else, and I wanted to challenge myself. So I thought criminal justice would be the way. Like, I was like, my big brother Mondo is a CHP in Carson, and you know, I've always looked up to him, and that's really what made me like want to do that.
So looking now, I know you're graduating class of 2020, and I know that's a big achievement. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Where do you see yourself in the next few years?
God willing, I mean, who knows with this whole, like, you know, this whole COVID thing, but I should be joining the academy in December and for the CHP, I'll be out there for 6 months. And then I plan on moving somewhere near like SoCal, like Orange County area. You know,
Okay.
want to be out there. As much, you know, I love Bakersfield. I got nothing but Bakersfield love, but it's hot.
It's hot. It is hot.
I just want to, you know, it's time to be a grown man and get out the house.
Right. Can you take us through like your daily life as a college athlete?
Okay, I could do that.
What your daily schedule was like and how you managed to keep your homework on time?
I'm gonna tell you this much: if you love the game, you're gonna do whatever. Cause it's hard when you get to the next level. It's not easy. Like people may think it's sweet. Like if you think you're really about this life, I'm gonna tell you what it's like. So those who have aspirations of playing Division I football, I went to Idaho State. You know, it's a good D1, but could you imagine the bigger university? You know what I'm saying? Like we had to be up at 6 or before 6 because I had to be at workouts at 6 in the morning. Mm-hmm. I work out for an hour and a half to go home, shower, had class at 8. Then I had class from 8 to noon because we're not allowed to go over because then you had meetings. You had team meetings every morning, or you had team meetings every noon at like 2 p.m. And then you had your special teams meeting. Then you have your meeting, like positions meeting. So like I was with the D-line. And then after that, we get ready for practice. Then after practice, you had recovery, especially like if you're a starter and you play over 30 snaps, like our coaches want you in the ice bath. They want you getting some type of treatment, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour. And then from there, you got to go to study hall, you got to eat. You know what I mean? Like it's a long day. Like you don't get home till like 8, 9 p.m. And then if you didn't do your homework in study hall, well, you got to stay up, do homework, and then it cycles again.
And finish it. Wow. Every day. Yeah.
Every day. But I mean, depending how you do your class, I mean, it's not like, you know, you get little breaks here and there, but it's really a grind. Like, it's not as easy as people think it is. Like, people look at student athletes and be like, oh, you got it so easy. Like, you get your school paid for. Like, all you got to do is practice. But shoot, for how much amount of practice we do, it's a full-time job. Like, I got to go Monday through Friday on, you know, practice in school, and then Saturday we got to leave Friday. We take a plane. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a business trip. We get on our plane, we get to the hotel, we're focused. We have meetings at the hotel. Like,
right.
You think you're just gonna go chill, lay in your room? Nuh-uh. It ain't like that. It ain't sweet like that. You got to really go. You lay down for like 30 minutes, you know, coming off a flight. You feel like you want to take a nap, but then you got meetings. And then from there, it's a business trip. We get there, wake up Saturday morning. We have mandatory, like, you have to be there for breakfast. You ain't just because you're not hungry, you have to be there. Right. Every team meal, you have to be there. You know, we go play our games on Saturdays, hopefully get back Saturday at a good time. If not, Sunday, so I went to church on Sundays. I go to church on Sundays, and that was really our thing. We had a very, like, high Mormon community, so they gave us Sundays off. Because I know some universities, you get Mondays off, but we had Sundays off. So
do you have any other advice to the student athletes out there looking to get recruited, moving on to the next level?
It's really about marketing yourself. Like I said, going back to Mr. Allen, like, you know, he always said, make sure you're a qualifier. Like, that's the number one thing. I've seen it firsthand. Same thing with my junior college coach. You know, everybody thinks they're a qualifier when they're really not. And it's not a bad thing if you are or you're not, you know, because if you are a qualifier, cool. Take a couple units, you know, like, you don't got to take all the crazy hard classes. Right. I didn't take math, you know, because I was waiting for my tutor. And but even if you are a qualifier, don't make that mistake I made. And I had that mentality, like, I'm going to go D1 or it's a bust, because I didn't have my AA after 2 years. And it's harder to go D2 than it is D1, as in, like, you have to have your AA to go D2, but you don't need an AA to go D1. Oh, wow. If you're a qualifier. And I got, like, you know, I was kind of like, that's on me. Like, you know, I sat back, you know, I was just chilling. I was trying to take the easy route, you know. And when the D1 coaches weren't calling, like, I would have been screwed. Like, I would have been SOL. Make sure you're on track to get your AA, not just to be on track to be on courses, like, you know, for your courses to transfer. Make sure you're on track to get your AA, because you don't know if you're going D1, D2, because anything can happen. And there's a lot of good players at D2. Like, my brother was, you know, he was a baller, but, you know, he had clock issues, and he had to go to D2, you know? Like, there's a lot of talent. Like, just because you go D2, just because you go D1, it's all the same at the end of the day. It's about getting your college paid for, and And like I said, I just don't want
Getting
people to
that
make
education.
get that education. I don't want people to make the mistake I made of not getting your AA.
Right.
That's like the biggest advice I have for anybody.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Again, probably just to wrap it up now. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
your route and everything, and your graduation. So.
Thank you, appreciate it. Happy I could share my story and like, you know, like, and it's cool, like I'm just like everybody else, you know, it's just hard work gets you there. You dominate, you gotta take class just like you take sports. You gotta dominate in the weight room, you gotta dominate in the classroom. I mean, I ain't no genius by any means, but I got my degree. You know, ain't nobody gonna take that from me. I got my degree. But yeah, love the experience, love the ride, and sad that football came to an end already, but now it's time to get ready to attack the real world, which is my career.
Great. Yeah.
Right.
Congratulations, and thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.